What's up? Honor Hermit 26, I'm here to give you my CHIKARA King of Trios 2010 review. Night 1, Night 2, and Night 3. As you can tell, very heavily B.D.K influence, as you have every single member on one of the three covers. But they do all look very, very cool altogether. Let me try and show that to you. Yeah, there. Okay. Alright, by far, Night 1 was the worst of the three, but it was actually still a good show, so let's just run down everything. I got a lot to do. F.I.S.T versus Matt Classic in the Throwbacks. It's a very good it's a good opener. Basically, they wanted F.I.S.T coming out first because they were last year's King of Trios, but so it was good for what it was. It was kind of obvious who was going to go over here, but still pretty good, 2 3/4. Then we got Team Frightning of Hallowicked, Frightmare, and Matt Quackenbush versus Team Big Japan, which is Daisuke Sakamoto and 2 of the younger guys. One of them is Okobayashi. By far, Sakamoto's my favorite of the 3, though. Just a very, very good match. Just a good way to show Big Japan is strong, and because they won. Nothing besides that, really. Then we got, it was supposed to be Team B.D.K versus Team Mexico, but Team Mexico didn't make it, and so CHIKARA severed all ties with, what's his name, Jorge Rivera afterwards. So basically, they do a CHIKARA style, which is they bring all the names out of a hat, came out since Osirian Portal, and then Sara Del Rey got chosen as their partner, and then basically they had a match. It's 3 stars, nothing more than that. Just basically put B.D.K over. Then we got the Unstable versus Osaka Pro. This is probably the worst match of the weekend. Actually, no, this match on Night 3 was worse. But besides, it was probably one of the worst matches of the weekend. I really didn't like it. 2 stars. I don't like the Unstable at all. That's probably why, and they're not very good in my opinion. Then I got Aeroform and Johnny Gargano versus the Colony. I expected a lot more out of this actually, especially with Aeroform and the Colony, because they're all good high flyers, and Johnny Gargano is very good. So. But besides that, it really didn't get anything. 2.5. Then we got the First Family, who I knew was going to put on a good match because I've been telling you, you know that I actually watched First Wrestling, so I knew that all 3 of these guys were good. In Eric Cannon, Darren Corbin, and Ryan Cruz versus the second B.D.K team of Tim Donst, Pinkie Sanchez, Pinkie, and Lince Dorado. Very, very good match here. Probably the second best match of the night. Just they went out there, did all their stuff. Pinkie Sanchez looked very, very good. Lince Dorado. Not that he's looked anywhere worse than he has with his face gimmick, but I don't think it. I'm still getting used to Lince Dorado being a heel because I had seen him before as a face. So, but he's still pretty good as a heel. And Tim Donst is very underrated. I really like him. So 3.5. Then we got Curryman, who is Christopher Daniels, Endless Ice Creams versus Perros Del Mal of El Oriental, Alebrije, and Cuije. Cuije is a mini, and it was very, very funny. I really liked this match. It was kind of just a comedy match all around, so not all that much wrestling, but I still actually liked it. It was better than Colony versus Aeroform and Johnny Gargano and Unstable Osaka Pro. So 2.5. And then we got the main event, probably the right match for the main event, all 6 high flyers. Features now Jimmy Olsen and Helios and Jigsaw versus Jackson 3, Generation Me and TNA, Young Bucks, and their younger brother Malachi Jackson. Yeah, I really like this match. Not quite great, but by far the best match of King of Trios Night 1. I just really liked it. A great high-flying all-around match. Overall, I'm giving this a 7. That first night always does take a hit because it's all 8 first-round matches, but it was still very, very fun to watch. I actually enjoyed it. But if you want to if you're a little short on money, buy one of these 2 shows. Alright, Night 2. Started off with Brodie Lee versus Grizzly Redwood, former stablemates in CHIKARA. Kind of went out there and just did their thing. I mean, it was kind of obvious who was going to win and everything, but you know, it was good for what it was. Grizzly Redwood made his CHIKARA debut. He was over as crap. It was very cool to see. 2 stars. Then we got a match that I actually liked a lot more than most people. Team Big Japan versus The Future Is Now. For a while, this was the match of the weekend. Actually, let me look. Is this the match of the weekend? No, it was not. It's by a hair the second best match of the weekend. I thought Sakamoto just had such good chemistry with, and actually all 3 Big Japan guys just had such good chemistry is the word I'm looking for, with all of the Futures Now guys. Just they used speed versus strength. It was perfectly. I loved it. 4 stars. Then we got the first of the 2 Rey de Voladores qualifying matches. Amasis of the Osirian Portal versus Matt Cross versus Flip Kendrick of Aeroform versus Malachi Jackson. This is only okay. I mean, I expect a little more out of it with guys like Malachi Jackson and Matt Cross in it, but still, it was only 2.5. And Matt Cross as a heel is kind of good because it's like thing in the front of his head now that is like kind of hair, and I didn't like that. Nah, it's okay. 2.5. Then we got to Perros Del Mal, Cuije, Aeroform versus Claudio, Castagnoli, Aries, and Tursas, one of the 2 B.D.K teams. probably the more prominent B.D.K team. This was only okay. I mean, a lot of people liked this a little bit more than I did. You know, the finish was very, very. I wouldn't say it was a cool finish. I really liked it, but yeah, there wasn't much else in the match to me. It was just like 2 3/4 stars, just like kind of like to me. It's kind of bland. Then we got Christopher Daniels versus Hallowicked. I expected a lot more out of this match than I actually did get. It was still good though. I mean, Christopher Daniels, I thought not really the guy I would have put in there with Christopher Daniels, but I mean, with the whole tournament going on, I mean, I understand because you want to have Frightmare and Redwood Voladores to have Hallowicked here. I understand that, so 3 stars. Then we got to a match I really, really liked. Team F.I.S.T versus Osaka Pro. Basically, they tried. Just everybody was in their finisher, and it was just a great match. Well, it wasn't quite great actually, but it was the second best match of the night. Really, really liked it, and the finish made sense, and it just everything made sense. It was a perfect match to make sense, is what it was. 3 3/4. Then we got to the second and the better of the two Redwood Voladores qualifying matches. Frightmare versus Ophidian, the Osirian Portal, versus Cheech Hernandez versus Rich Swann, making his CHIKARA debut. He works for CZW, and he has. I actually really like his finish, which is a standing 450, which he didn't do here. He didn't complete it here, but I actually really like it. I want to see more Rich Swann because he is very impressive. I thought Frightmare was going to win this match. He probably should have, actually, but it was a good match for what it was. Just a good high-flying all-around match, 3.5. Then we got to the main event, Colony versus Tim Donst, Pinkie, Sanchez, and Lince Dorado. This is the first big B.D.K loss. Actually, this is the first B.D.K loss at all. Actually, maybe at the March show that they lost. I think maybe Lince lost there, but I'm not sure. Yeah, first loss as a team for the B.D.K, I'm pretty sure here. 3 3/4 stars. Just got to see a new side because the Jacob Herremeyer had announced the Colony's winners, and they just gave the mic to Gavin loudspeaker. So I actually really like this show a lot. 8.0, a lot of good stuff on here, and probably the second best match of the weekend that was maybe not expected to. I really liked night 2. And then I got to personally my favorite of the 3 nights, because you had 2 4-star matches on here, but it had probably the worst match of the weekend as well. Night 3. I gave this an 8.0. Oh, by the way, 8.0, but you can see that in the description box. I'm going to also give this an 8.0 if I don't say it later in the video. Alright, we got Team Osaka Pro versus the Colony as one of the semifinals. Just an okay match. They went out there, just a stereotypical CHIKARA. Not a stereotypical CHIKARA opener, just like a stereotypical 6-man. Not all that much. I thought it should have been better with the Osaka Pro's 2 high flyers and the Colony being in there together, but whatever. 2.5. Then we got to the better of the 2 semifinal matches. Aries, Tursas, and Claudio Castagnoli, B.D.K versus Team Big Japan. I always wanted to see Claudio and Sakamoto in the same rings. That was one of the big things I wanted to see in this tournament, to see if Big Japan and B.D.K could go against each other. And they did. I really enjoyed it. 3.5. Then I got to the worst match of the weekend, Chuck Taylor or Oriental. I was so bored throughout this entire match. And I like Chuck Taylor a lot. And I actually like Peristomall too, so, you know, but they just did not have good chemistry whatsoever. 2 stars. Then we got the tag team gauntlet. This was a lot of fun. Great, great stuff here. I mean, you got Dragon coming out. You had the Unstable. I actually don't like the Unstable, but they did such a good job playing heels against, especially Ben Gerard against Dragon. So I actually really liked that. And then you just had just a lot of great storyline stuff. Hallowicked and Frightmare picking up 3 points. It was so great. Just all the storyline stuff is great stuff. 3.5. Then we got to a match I expected more out of as well. Christopher Daniels, Eddie Kingston. I understand why they didn't give us. Why they didn't. I understand maybe with them pulling back a little bit because they wanted to save stuff for the Tommy Dreamer appearance afterwards, but you know, they probably could have done a little more. 3 stars. Then got to the match of the weekend, Young Bucks versus Mike Quackenbush and Jigsaw. This is why I wish the Young Bucks were still in the Indies. I mean, I missed them so much from this match. Just wow, just great high flying stuff here. I loved it. TNA, watch this match and see what they can do, please. Just 4 stars. I almost gave it 4 1/4. I really, really liked that match that much. Then we got to the Redwood Voladores finals. Matt Cross versus Ophidian. I expect a little more out of this, honestly. I know Matt Cross is a great high flyer. I thought he could have put on a better match than this with Ophidian, but, you know, for whatever reason, I thought that it should have been a high-flying move to end the King of the High Flyers tournament, which is Redwood Voladores in English. But whatever. It was a small package, but whatever. My tiny right there. Then we got to the finals of B.D.K versus the Colony. Could have seen this coming, actually. This is probably the 2 teams I would have predicted to be in the finals on paper, and put on a great storyline match. I mean, just honestly, it was a great match to begin with, but then they involved storyline. Derek Sabato, who is a former heel CHIKARA referee, just great stuff. 8.0 here. But pick up these DVDs. It was a great tournament. I can't give it an overall rating, though. Alright, I'll see you guys later.